Welcome to a new season of the Sustainable Living podcast, where we delve into the heart of sustainability through the lens of leadership, innovation, and the powerful voices leading the change toward a greener future. This season, Green Female Voices is dedicated to exploring the intersection of environmentalism, gender equality, and leadership. Through engaging conversation, we will explore how cultural values, policy making, and education can foster an inclusive and impactful sustainability movement. In today's episode, we will explore the intersection of Swedish culture, women's empowerment, and sustainability leadership, offering perspectives on how these elements can synergize to promote a more sustainable and just society. I have the privilege of speaking with a distinguished guest who embodies the spirit of leadership and commitment to sustainability, Madam Ambassador Therese Hyden, the Ambassador of Sweden in Romania. Ambassador Hyden has been at the forefront of promoting environmental sustainability, gender equality, and education, making significant contribution to fostering close cross-border collaboration for a sustainable future. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you, Nicoleta. It's always a pleasure to be with you, to be part of this the podcast, and thanks for giving me another chance to speak about these topics.
It's always a pleasure. But Sweden is celebrated globally for its pioneering efforts in environmental protection and sustainability. Could you share with us the key policies or initiatives that have been instrumental in earning Sweden this distinguished reputation?
I think maybe the reputation or the work owes to two things. One is that Sweden has been vocal about our support for sustainability and green transition. The second is that we have been credible in doing this work. And that is part to several things. First of all, the Swedish government announced already in 2017 that Sweden should be the first fossil-free welfare country. Since then, of course, we have EU policies, and we're all between Sweden and Romania working towards the same things. But we were very vocal back then. And since then, we've backed that up domestically with legislation, with government agencies and other institutions working towards this goal. And more importantly, also making sure that there is accountability, that there is a follow-up. Secondly, Swedish companies are also very much on board on the journey towards sustainability. They are combining their business models with sustainability, and it is working. Thirdly, we have the Swedish people who also want to live a sustainable life, to have a sustainable lifestyle. So I think those three things, being vocal and being credible about it, is what gives Sweden this reputation.
Education is a cornerstone of Swedish society with a notable focus on sustainability. But how is environmental awareness integrated into the structure of Swedish education system, and what makes this integration crucial?
Actually, already in the Swedish, in the curricula for all the Swedish school, it is stated very clearly that the education must have an environmental focus. So the students, the pupils, already from the creche, from the kindergarten and up, will be taught about sustainability, what it means to be living environmentally friendly, how our impact as human beings, what impact our behavior has on nature, on the environment. And this is an obligation, so that there is not a specific topic or subject in the school, but this is something that should be part of several different types of teaching, be it in natural sciences or in social sciences, because our impact goes across these different fields of studies. And this, as an example, I guess, for the younger pupils, of course, it could be a day in the school where you talk about things that go on around you, the traffic as you go to school, the weather, the climate, the energy that we use to heat our buildings or to cool our buildings and the school and our houses. So just very day-to-day examples to make it real.
Swedish women have been at the forefront of environmental change, supported by cultural values and policies. Could you provide examples of how they have led and influenced sustainability efforts?
I think it seems that also according to scientific studies, women in general are the ones that are leading in the sustainability field, because it seems that men more often, and I'm generalizing a bit, but more often men tends to have a less sustainable lifestyle because they are driving using a car more often. Okay, today we have electric cars, but still it would be more part of their lifestyle. Men would tend to eat more meat than women. These are generalizations, but looking at from that perspective, women would already be leaders in sustainable and circular and more environmentally friendly lifestyles. And this also translates into the private sector for the reason that there are more women leading companies working with sustainability issues than there are men. So that's a good thing, and I think that tells us women are very important in the sustainability field. But there is also a problem in general when it comes to women and self-employment and entrepreneurship. And the problem is not with the women. The problem is with the money that goes into private entrepreneurship. Most of the money and the external financing will generally go to more technology-heavy companies or ideas, and there will be fewer women there. So in Sweden, it's just about 20 to 30% of the all entrepreneurs that are women. Many of those will be in sustainability field, but not all. And one last interesting aspect is that it seems, again, according to studies that have been made, is that if you work with issues relating to caretaking or taking care of things, you will also take care of the environment. So those things tend to go together, and there are more women working or being entrepreneurs within this field. So women do have leadership roles in the sustainability field, it seems.
Also, Swedish companies are known for promoting leadership in sustainability, as you mentioned. What initiatives have been particularly successful, and what practices could other nations adopt, like Romania, to achieve similar success?
I would say that almost all Swedish companies do have, it's part of their business model to be sustainable because simply because their investors their consumers expect it these days. It's not okay to be a polluter. It's not okay to exploit nor nature nor people anymore. So it has been a natural part of the business model to be sustainable. When it comes to women's role there, or how to push for more women or sustainability issues, I believe perhaps things like mentoring is an important factor. Training and mentoring in these fields, and I believe many companies and institutions do provide training and mentoring also within their own institutions.
You mentioned mentoring, and of course, the influence of role models and mentoring cannot be overstated in empowering women in sustainability. Are there any Swedish programs aimed at mentoring women aspiring to lead in this sector?
There are mentoring is, I think it's also here in Romania, it's a big thing, and it's an important thing because it's a great opportunity for anyone to find a person who perhaps has more experience or another experience within a field that you're interested in. So if you want to learn more about mentoring, finding someone, either a role model, must not be someone that you can actually meet, but someone that you can learn from. And there are a lot of different mentoring programs in Sweden. I think many companies have it, many government institutions. So it's a sort of a way to do some self-help. And then there are role models, and I think we have some nice important persons in Sweden. And one of these impressive Swedish women in sustainability is Elin Bergman. And I think you will have her also on your podcast. I'm sure she will be much more interesting in me, and I will be sure to listen in, because I think a person like that can really share a lot of experience. So we can take a shortcut, listen to that. We can learn a lot about how to do things, ideas that we haven't thought about, and also the importance of networks, to find your own, sometimes we can feel alone, we can care for something, but sometimes it's, you get more done if you get together with other people or an institution. And I think she's also been part of setting up such sustainability and circularity networks. Those things are really important to help us as individuals and companies to move forward with sustainability.
Let's talk about diplomatic role in promoting sustainability. Diplomatic missions plays a crucial role in the international sustainability efforts. How do you view the role of embassies, such as Sweden's in Romania, in fostering cross-border sustainability initiatives?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to mention that working with sustainability and the green transition it's a key interest for the Swedish government and also for Swedish companies and for Sweden as such. So from that perspective, it is a formal part of the work that I do and the work of the Swedish Embassy here in Romania, but in fact in all different companies where we are represented. Because again, sustainability, climate change issues, environmental topics are things that know no borders. They cross the borders whether we like it or not. So any solution, of course, needs to be worked out together to deal with the bigger problems. It's important to work locally, but it's also important to work together. And that's why, for instance, since Romania and Sweden, we're together in the EU. We are both responsible and can share also ideas and good practices on how to implement different rules. I mean, there will be legislation that is obligatory, but then there are also, of course, a lot of good practices that can be shared between countries. So that is also part of what we do. And I think it is, and it will continue to be a key feature of the work of any Swedish embassy globally.
Your advocacy for sustainability is inspiring, but what motivated you to champion this cause, and how has being a female leader influenced your approach?
Well, again, I think on the one hand, it is a formal part of my job, which again, it's a key interest for the Swedish government. So I am required to work with it, and it is important to work with it, and it's important to work with it also here in Romania. And here I have the pleasure, of course, of working with a large range of different interlocutors. But on the other hand, of course, climate change and the threat from climate change is real. It's happening now, and as an individual and as a mother, I can feel that I have a responsibility to take care of this planet, to help to do what I can do, so that my children and other people's children, future generations, have a decent place to live in the years to come. So it's
it's clear that it's something that it has to be done. But many young women look up to leaders like yourself. What advice would you offer to those aspiring to make a significant impact in sustainability or diplomacy?
Again, I would refer to finding some role models, to learn some more about the topics, or to find some role models. But I think also generally, just especially between women, it's important that we support each other, that we have some more solidarity between ourselves, to find people that you feel comfortable with, that are willing to support you, like that you will feel comfortable in trying to do some, whether it's sustainability work or it's some environmental work or something that you want to try. Don't be afraid to try it. If you are surrounded by a group of people, learn from role models, learn from other things that you can find on the internet, on good examples. Find out some information and surround yourself with people that you're comfortable with. Try things. If something goes wrong, you will have people there to back you up, and it will be more fun working together.
The Swedish Embassy partnership with our podcast, focusing on green female voices in this season, is a testament to your commitment to sustainability and also women's empowerment. Why is supporting such initiatives like ours important for the Embassy?
I would say that, sustainability is also about knowledge, right? It's about knowledge and awareness. And this podcast series that has been over a number of different series is one example where you help create knowledge and awareness on sustainability and the green transition by sharing different voices and views and good practices from companies and from other people involved. So by taking part and working with different actors, from government representatives all the way to civil society, because we are all part of making this change, we are all needed to make this change, we can hopefully help, as the Swedish Embassy, help to create a little more awareness about the green transition and the sustainability that needs to take place.
As we conclude our insightful conversation, what message would you like to share with our listeners, many of whom are women, many of whom are passionate about making a difference in sustainability?
Don't hesitate to try. Any little action matters. One person's action will not change everything, but every action matters. So don't be afraid to try, and surround yourself with friends and people who you trust, and together with whom you can actually make a change.
Your insights and experience have not only enriched our understanding, but also inspired us to think deeply about the role of leadership, culture, and education in advancing sustainability. Ambassador Hyden, it's been an absolute honor and privilege to have you with us today. Thank you.
Pleasure's been mine. Thank you very much.